everyone, I've decided to make an intro video because it's kind of already in the works what we've been doing, because we put a stupid farmer update on my Facebook. So with YouTube, most of it's video, so you can't really just do the photos and the blogging that I was doing. Now it's video and introduction, and I would rather work on my property than take the time to edit. So I'm going to give you guys a crash test on our feelings and origins of how we came about. Garmin, I call him Garmin because his name is Brian Garmin. I am Tiffany Thompson, and most people call me Dunn because of a previous married name. But I work for the Department of Corrections, and he works for the Department of Education in West Virginia. We don't get much past that, but that just explains why we are not farmers. We didn't come from a family of farmers.
See the title? Stupid.
Yeah, we're a big fan of trial, error, burn it down, build it better. And one of my favorite examples is we had a big circle about the size of a 22-inch tire or bigger, and of pampas grass that went a good 10 feet high, and I told Garmin all week I'm gonna cut into it and burn it. And that Saturday came, and he came down with the fire extinguisher because I had flames going 25 feet high, singeing our pine behind it. Now, I'm not a pyro, but I was tired of it being in my way. He's saying I am.
Yeah, you are a pyro. You love burning stuff.
Maybe. And, you know, we didn't say we had a fire extinguisher. We had water available. We didn't do it in the middle of July during a drought. I think we did it in the middle of August in between the rain season.
Right, yeah, during the monsoons.
And nothing caught on fire, and we were very lucky. I just made that face because we just saw wood cut up nice and chopped on the side of the road, and we haven't paid for any of our firewood this year. We found it off of Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, people hearing what we're doing and just volunteering some stuff that they didn't want. We burn everything but pine after it's seasoned, and outside we'll burn pine just because it burns. No pyro. Okay, so I came up with the term stupid farmers. We never sat down and thought about it. I think I just initiated it. And I just started chatting about my experiences on Facebook, and I realized it kind of had a small following. People instant message me or private message me questions and their responses, their reactions, their experiences. And I've had some great feedback, so I figured YouTube is probably the way to go. Now, Garmin, what are some of the people you like to follow that inspired you to okay me to do the YouTube?
I follow a lot of the homestead channels. Wrangler Star, I get a lot of stuff off of him.
Hi, Wrangler Star.
I hope he sees it sometime. That would be awesome to hear from him. I've followed.
What are the couples' name?
Yeah.
They made the hot tub.
Yeah, Living for Life.
What is it?
What is it? Living for Life. I'm blanking out here.
Well, there's people that we've already touched base with. The couple that I'm talking about
Right.
actually wrote back to Garmin once when he simply wrote, "Hey, I really like you guys." What else did you have in that?
Well, there was a question about the solar, doing that. Because one of the things.
I just rubbed my eye. Oh,
Why would you do that?
I don't know. Go ahead.
Because I mean, I have no idea what I'm doing. I can lay brick, I can lay block, other kinds of construction, but this is a lot of new stuff for me. Just trying to remember stuff growing up. So I mean, I watch all the videos, just seeing how they do things, trying to get ideas. I have farmer friends, I have redneck friends, we have hippie friends. You know, across the board, we have people that we can check with just about how to do things. So.
Which, by the way, at this point in time, be it previous owners of the property we bought, to our friends back in the DOC, to our current friends down in West Virginia, to the overall community on the internet, you guys have been unbelievable support, be it through materials, suggestions, helping talk us off the ledge sometimes. And it's been a welcoming environment. We didn't really intend to go in a specific direction, but it has led to Homestead. Garmin came to me one day and said, I want property. And I think our original plan was a lot of property, just like 70 acres or more. Enough where he could walk diagonally or be on the property and not be in the original spot he started in the same day, right? And I think I figured that out to be 77 acres, but he'd have to walk diagonally. And for West Virginia, it's just amazing countryside. And he relocated down here, and I just planned on figuring out what to do. So I looked to Craigslist and found property. And I was
stupid.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I was looking at realtors and stuff, but the people in West Virginia don't necessarily use the most modern way to sell property unless they really want a top dollar. I wasn't afraid to pay top dollar. I was afraid of paying for something that was above our means, and I stumbled across
Cheap also.
Yeah, I mean,
cheap. Don't want to pay realtor fees. I mean, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I was hoping to do a private transaction just because there was a good chance we would knock every single bit of shack, Jenny shack, chalet, whatever, down and make exactly what we want. He's quite capable of doing it, and I can run and play fetch really well. So I found this place, and he went and looked at it, then we went and looked at it, and then we stopped drooling on it and realized we needed to make it happen. And we eventually made it happen, which, thank you, Jim, Sandy, we still love you. And they have held our hand with being off the grid. Now, my theory is if Garmin dies, that farm's getting electric. And it has nothing to do with anything but laziness and the fact that I may be slightly skilled, but I'm not sufficiently skilled. Garmin's dream situation is what? If you had a blank property, what would you do?
Just right in the center of the property, just a one-room building, an outhouse, build a fireplace for it, and just like that. Just very simple, but have to be comfortable.
What we found was a monolithic outhouse. Our outhouse is tiled in marble. Like, it's amazing. And if we wanted, we could switch the side that the outhouse is on. We were able to put a utility sink in there. It already had solar. We weren't dead set on solar, but we were already looking into solar just because we like the idea of never paying for it again. And Garmin has to use a sleep apnea machine, so he needs power a minimum of 8 hours a day. He could candlelight his way through a lot of things, but we don't plan on being the what do they call them? Coleman calls us it all the time. Preppers.
Preppers, yeah.
Yeah, we're not preppers.
We're not doomsday preppers.
No. I'm not a severe gun nut. We'll shoot anything that attacks us, but and we like to play with weapons such as pointy knives and axes and
Shooting plates.
Yeah, shooting plates. But we do not expect anybody else to ever think it's okay to come and solicit to us a lifestyle, because if we want to put electric one day, we're going to put electric. If we want to have public water, we will do public water. I'm just saying, if that's
right.
how it came.
If we ever decide we want to, if it comes to the point where we're unable to live this lifestyle, then we're going to do what we have to do to survive, obviously.
The reason I stay open to public water is, what if our spring becomes contaminated? I mean, I try to be as realistic as can be. I enjoy that our only bill whatsoever is property tax, and if you want to consider a mortgage. But if it's paid off, it'd still just be property tax. And property tax down here is amazing. Come to West Virginia. We tried to pay for it in advance because it was so wonderfully low. So when we found this property, it already had a beautiful clawfoot tub, a bathroom there, and by bathroom we literally mean a bathroom where you take your bath. There's no toilet. There is a sink. Everything's plumbed. It does have wires, electric run, but it was self-sustaining. They had solar panels. They had candles. They had the most adorable setup with this gorgeous home comfort stove. And we found the exact model in the Beckley mining exhibit in the superintendent's house. So it was just fantastic. Now we have Beast Stove In, which is this black, awesome mountain of a heat maker, and a green one on the other side, which is in our living room. We have an offshoot, which is where we keep the cat litter room, just because it's easier. It's all hardwood floor, no stain, no smell. But also our planting. We have a wonderful lady who runs the Chestnut Revival, gave me some aloe. I'm telling you, the community is just fantastic. They'll give you the shirt off your back that we've moved into. I'm not saying the people from the Philadelphia area aren't that way, or the Lancaster area. They certainly are, but the value of things, the cost of living down here is cheaper, but the price on community or individuals willing to just push their shirt sleeves up and help you is priceless down here. Someone might help you change a tire up in Philadelphia, maybe. But down here, they're going to call their brother and bring the car dolly and put it in their garage and fix it properly down here, just because they have this stuff for some reason. They don't even have a garage. They just happen to have it. What is your goal with the property if funds and manpower is endless?
Ideally, I mean, even if it's not endless, I think what can happen is I would like to get to the point where we are completely self-sustaining off the property, which I think might be a goal of most homesteaders, be it agriculture, livestock, just that it can support us on its own.
Give me a little more volume.
Just so that we are completely self-sustaining off the property, that we wouldn't necessarily have to go to a store if we didn't want to. We could have our food, we could hunt if we wanted to, we could have our gardens, we can right now we don't pay for heat, obviously. We can just go up in the woods, find dead trees, cut them up, bring them down, split them, and we're golden. So like she said, all winter we haven't had to pay for heat, just so that we can survive. If we decide to keep our jobs, we are both gainfully employed at this point, just so you're also aware of that. This is not a full-time gig, but just
it's a lifestyle gig.
Yeah, it's a lifestyle gig, but that we can survive. We won't have to go to the grocery store or things like that. We purchased the property in June, so we were past most of the planting season, but we were also too busy just trying to get our roots and property and items and pots and pans and towels. Mowing. Yeah, and mowing to really do anything else to the property. We just dug in elbows first for the first year, and we're still in the first year. But what was your favorite moment pertaining to the vegetation that's already there? Those raspberries.
Mine was the pear.
Okay, the pear, yeah.
We have a pear tree. We didn't see any blossoms. Oh, we have two pear trees, sorry. We have pear, two kinds of apples, cherry trees. I know I already said pear, but I know when you walk down.
And peach trees.
Peach trees, grapevines, raspberries, wineberries, blackberries, Indian monk strawberries, which is kind of useless, but I'm sure you could do something with it. Don't attack me, internet.
Had to be wild strawberries.
Yeah, wild strawberries. We found garlic. We found onion.
Mushrooms.
Oh yeah, ink cap mushrooms and the. I'm surprised that wasn't your favorite.
It was quick. I mean, it'd be neat if we would have lasted longer with that.
Around Halloween, he researched and outsourced to a couple of our friends, such as Yoder and his mushroom guy, and he found that he had shaggy mane mushrooms, which are also ink cap mushrooms, and they have like a 3-day life attached to the stem and like 30-minute life once they're detached. So if you can cook them in that period of time, you can eat them, and they tasted like chicken of the woods mushrooms. He sent me pictures of the stir fry because I wasn't down there at that moment. Mine was the pear, and we found a pear. Actually, Garmin found a pear. I didn't find a pear. Right under our pear tree, going up to our 3rd tier.
Which may not seem odd, but
our pear tree had no blooms when we were there. We didn't see any fruit at any point, and any fruit from the apples and cherries that we tried to get this last year in the summer of 17, it was all picked by the chipmunks and deer. It was just
birds.
And the bird, yeah, birds, anything that could reach it but us. And we went in, and he brought this pear, and I have pictures, but it was delicious.
Yeah, like fully formed ripe pear underneath the tree.
If we would live anywhere else, I would have thought some kid lobbed a pear. Just a perfect pear. And it wasn't briny, it wasn't tough, it was just so delicious. It was just my favorite part of that. During late July and August, we would walk hand in hand down and eat a meal first off of the grill, and then I need to stop rubbing my face. Mm-hmm. It burns. Walk hand in hand, go down and eat raspberries, blackberries, and wineberries until we were full, and that was our dessert for most of the summer. I gotta touch my eye. Still flush, still burning, feels good. It's actually a lot better on my nose. I had originally washed with dish soap and it didn't work. You'll see in a later posted video, I de-seeded poblano and jalapeno leftovers that we had to get the seeds out of it's not the rind, but the
Core.
Yeah, the core. And from there, I forgot to wear gloves. And I am very pale, very flush. And I don't mind the taste of them if you cook them, but raw, whew, pretty rough. And so I had facial cleaner that I then used, but there's still a little bit of the oil lingering. Capsaicin. I wish we didn't know that so well because of our previous jobs. I've been sprayed a few times with OC, and Garmin's been sprayed at minimum once, and because of working for corrections, and it's just poof. We are on our way to looking at a lifestyle where we can live off the land, but my financial goal is it costs more in time and effort than it does for anything else on that property. It just, whatever my rate of being a laborer is all that it costs me. So technically I could pay Joe Schmo to come and cut my wood for me or something like that, and that's all it would cost, because there would already be wood there. We already have the electric because of the solar, and we're slowly expanding. We work on 4 batteries, 4 12 volts.
Yes. They are, for you solar Nazis, they are the wrong batteries.
We're just starting.
Yeah.
We just wanted to get it up and running, and just enough juice to run the CPAP machine. Really, we don't run fans, and the house actually really well built. It has 2,000 square feet, a loft. We don't live in the loft yet. We have to finish it.
Cats like it.
Yeah, our cats like it. The people that live in our property are us and 9 cats. The reason why I'm going to talk a lot about the cats now is it is something that causes us to think about not adding livestock. He wants chickens. He wants guinea hens and or more. He likes the idea that they take down the ticks and, you know, eggs, I guess, for not just guineas, but having eggs. And I don't think he'd be against a goat or two.
No, or a pig.
Or a pig. We do eat meat, so piggy would be bacon. He wants to build a smokehouse. We have a freestanding stone building already on our 3rd tier, and he wants to make a forge for weapon debauchery and
Discipline.
yeah, we're not gonna
Or hinges or nails. Or
blacksmithing of any chaotic sort. Just like he said, to play, but man cave. That's kind of a cave. Our property is very hilly. We own basically the side of a mountain. And for those in Pennsylvania, I call it a hill, but that's just because I'm used to the Pocono Mountains, and there's the same size hills as these down here that they call mountains, but they're way steeper.
It's kind of cliffy.
Yeah, it's just way steeper. Or more steep, I should say.
Really steep.
The winters down here are pretty tame. It's always interesting to see people drive like a blizzard's hitting, and we're thinking, wow, this is a light dusting, and Pennsylvania people are working in a foot of snow and still making it to work.
We get an 1.5 inches and everything shuts down.
So, Garmin, how would you describe the inside of the house?
Rustic. A lot of wood. It's all made from materials that have been taken off the land, according to the previous owner. It's a lot of hardwood floors, a lot of
Bulletproof glass.
Bulletproof glass, yeah. There's no paneling per se, but it's just milled wood panels put up, tongue groove, all stained. It's a work in progress. It's rough
And beautiful at the same time.
Yeah,
when you walk inside, you could tell that there was a woman's touch to it, and I don't know, it's very homey without feeling like you're living in a shack.
Yep.
And if you've ever seen something on TV where the house outside looks so rough, and I mean our place does not look rough, but it looks like it was well used, and then you go inside and some of it looks really well polished, like the bathroom.
Yeah.
Tile.
Glass block.
Yeah, they did a fantastic job, and you could tell it was something that brought them relaxation, maybe after all the effort. It's made our winter very, very enjoyable. Winter lets us focus on just bringing in wood, splitting it. I think one of my favorite purchases that we've bought was a backup generator in case the poop hits fan.
But we don't always, we'll have days with no sun at all, so you either got to charge it on the generator or stay awake.
Oh, while I think about it, I don't know, and I haven't bothered to look because I don't care. Any adult guidelines for any children watching? There will be profanity. Me particularly, I curse like a sailor. And I don't like children for the most part. I like cats. And while I tolerate and understand children's existence, our future, I don't want to live with them. I'm not going to do anything like that, so I'm not going to curb our YouTube channel for that. You're not going to see any of us carrying babies unless someone's paying me to babysit or something. And anyone interested in that, I feed them candy, soda, and shake them. Pop Rocks.
Yeah.
Pop Rocks and soda. But there's no extreme hatred or anything. We have kids. I have an 18-year-old. He has an 18-year-old and a 21-year-old.
Love them.
We do. We do. We like them. But we're very happy they're adults. But, so we see the light at the end of the tunnel. We've done our time. And while we enjoyed raising them, we're happy we're done. And we get to be big kids again. And now we have our playground. This property is, we've blown up things. We throw axes. We light things on fire.
We try to be safe.
Yeah, we try to be safe. I make him wear a helmet because our four-wheeler can do 120 miles an hour.
And I'm aware of safety protocol and most of the things I do being in construction since I was 18. Just because I choose not to do it doesn't mean that I authorize or justify it, but I don't need corrected on it either.
One of the main things that we were hoping to get across in this YouTube, at least I was, Garmin probably just enjoys seeing his pretty self, but how much fun it is to just do what you want with your life, your property, your well-being. We are both employed by bigger companies. In one, I mean, he works for a school district, and I work for a state agency, but we work for the man, and yet the man doesn't have to come and, you know, crush your hopes and dreams. You can do whatever you want with your property, and we want to show you how much fun that can be. I will yell at you on Facebook comments. I troll people all the time. So if you put something nasty on our Facebook page, we will post responses and or just delete you, because we want other people to have a decent environment. And we love all people. We don't like people that try and tell us who we can or can't like or enjoy, because somebody that is a city conservist or anything like that still has something to offer to us, such as maybe they have a rooftop garden. Maybe they actually run on solar. I've met some wonderful people in the LA area that do solar run apartment rental sublets. So they pay electric as a backup in case like earthquakes or tsunami warnings or something like that, but everything else is run solar because they get so much sun out there. And they actually pay people to clean the screens because there's so much smog out there as well. But these people have nothing even geographically in common, and I've come in contact with these people, and they've just been a real delight to correspond with. That they've learned from me, I've learned from them. What are the top 3 things, or give me 5 things, Garmin. What are the top 5 things that you like doing on the property constructively?
Can I say cutting wood?
Cutting wood.
I enjoy splitting wood. It's a good workout, and it's also relaxing. I'm looking. I haven't done much as far as construction yet, but I'm looking forward to that.
Like the greenhouse?
Like the greenhouse, the smoker, the
fireplace.
Fireplace. I'm just looking forward to building things like that. I enjoy tinkering. I'm bad for doing research on things. A lot of times I'll just grab something and start working on it. But I just enjoy tinkering, taking things apart, seeing how they work, and wishing I could put them back together again.
You'll eventually learn that we're fairly opposite, but at the same time we somehow have a like mind in ways. So mostly I do the research and then we go forward, such as like the solar panels or things like that. Or he never really knows what I'll come home with. I've come home with bifold doors, and then we ended up using 3/4 of them, and we have this awesome saloon style door because of his knowledge and my desire to put something together. We upcycle like crazy. recycle as best as we can. And we don't like a lot of waste because we feel like it's throwing our money away and making our environment worse for the wear, because really it gets dumped around here. There's a really awful litter problem.
We love glass.
Yes. Glass jars, glass anything he can tap his ring against. Really, he makes him happy. For me, I like working with my hands, so the planting element, seeing the birth happen from the ground up or the ground down, because we're gonna have some hanging stuff to keep it away from the cats. You're singing Beyonce.
Yes.
You will hear a lot of pop culture. That's definitely out of us. I enjoy the daily prep for our work. Like, we need wood. I like prepping all of our wood circles.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a pain in the butt, but because you're cutting wood.
Chores.
Yeah, it's a chores element. I don't do cat litter. He does it.
With 9 cats. I just want to point out that our cats came from a more domesticated life than what we have now, so they will stand on the porch. Most of them. Like 7/10 of them.
Yeah.
Well, they will stand on the porch with their legs crossed waiting to come in so they can use the litter blocks and then go back outside.
Except 2 of them, they'll run outside.
They'll run outside, yeah.
And then dig holes in the flower beds.
The mulch pile, yeah.
You're going to learn some interesting things about our property, like the death tree, our rain collection. He has this fantastic system that I don't know, I just think it's the coolest thing.
Yeah. It'll store roughly 900 gallons of water. So we recycle a lot of rainwater.
The solar, I keep going back to the idea of solar because the area we live in, just because I don't want to get into the politics of it, but it's very coal region-y and not future energy conservation for much. A lot of propane, natural gas, LP stuff used. And there we are on the corner just trying to do solar and clean energy. And you don't get tax breaks, you don't get anything. So we're piecing it together, especially since we can't get major conglomerates to come into our house because we refuse to tie into the grid. A company that rhymes with Esla.
Yes, Esla.
We wanted to buy a whole big solar system, and we learned the hard way that there really is a monopoly out there, and people will not do subsidiary or part lending or part buying out. You have to either tie into the grid so that way they can make money off of you, or make it yourself. And we are and will be stubborn enough to make it ourselves. We just watched an older guy, I won't put him on blast because he did a good deed.
Yeah.
But he squeezed in a parking lot space. We just pulled into a store because we're going to go in and do look at seeds and stuff. And he purposely squeezed in next to a shopping cart, but then him opening his door caused...
it with his door.
It almost hit another vehicle that's parked a whole separate parking spot away. And this older gentleman had to crank out the Bengay and start hustling. Well, I'll make it short because the car gets hot. I'm sorry?
Air conditioner's on.
Oh, and the window's down. I'm so happy we use solar.
Don't touch me.
We're not hippies. We're not anything. I'm always will be a city girl, I guess, so I am something. But I'm more crazy cat lady than anything.
And I just do what I want.
Yeah.
Or what she wants. She's the boss.
I am. You'll see a lot of crazy shirts. I'm wearing a Dark Lotus shirt. He's wearing a McTech shirt. Awesome school, if you want to be taught masonry. You will always be able to comment. We'll try our best to answer questions.
We're open to ideas. If you see something, hey, try this, hey, try that. Hey, if you do this, you're going to blow up your house. You know, we're open to criticisms, especially constructive criticism.
Yeah, we are getting bees in this summer, or spring. So we're gonna have that going too. So
How could that go wrong?
yeah, we're gonna have a lot of fires in the iron, or irons in the fire.
Whatever. Keep up talking to us.
Okay, sorry. I thought one of the locals were going with a lot of chew in his mouth. Animal haters. Hey, if you post on my comments, I will report you. I have seen that a lot on YouTube for some reason. People want to talk about killing other people's pets. I don't tolerate that. You can talk about killing him. He'll just show up and ask you, hey, what's up? But other people, don't mess with my cats. Have a good one. We look forward to this crazy journey. And if nothing else, I hope you get a laugh, because really, we're not that serious.
Yeah. But we're going to have fun.
Nice to meet you.